watching Star TV and welcome. This is the Education Point, and I'm your host Kutubo Sani, and thank you for being with us. In this program, we are going to have this series coming to you over the Star TV every Tuesday in the hours of 1300 hours, and also it's going to be repeated every Saturday at the same time. Do join us every week to bring you discussions as to the issues and pertinent stuff that has to do with the education sector of this country. We know that STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and also TVET and technical vocational education and training are both essential to be able to push the development of this nation forward. And we are going to bring in experts to be able to talk to us about some of those development priorities that are already on the pipeline for the Ministry of Higher Education and other stakeholders that has to do with that development. So we will bring discussions as to those prospects, but also we will avail the opportunity to officials and also stakeholders that has to do with the education sector, and also generally the discussions will be centered on the advancement of this society through the use of education. And but also the discussion will be in line with SDG 4, which talks about an all-inclusive education and also fosters for quality and universal access to education wherever we are. So today we are going to bring discussions. Our topic today is going to be quality teachers at the heart of education. And with me in the studio, I have a great personality and an accomplished educator who is here with me to talk about this most important topic, or this daunting topic, if I may say. You welcome to Star TV, Mr. Principal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That is Mr. Abubakar Jallo, or let me say would be Dr. Abubakar Jallo, who is the principal of the Gambia College and also an accomplished educator who has gone to Armitage High School and also graduated, gone to the Gambia College to obtain his HTC, that is the Higher Teacher Certificate, and taught throughout his life. He has taught in different schools in the country, which includes St. George's High School, Muslim High School, Kuntauru, Kauru, and the list goes on. Mr. Jallo also obtains a BSc in agricultural education from the University College in Sierra Leone. He is currently a PhD candidate and also the principal of the Gambia College, a seasoned educationist and also an accomplished educator who is a lighthouse for the education sector of this country. You welcome to the Education Point, Mr. Principal. And starting with, the Gambia College is the oldest and the only teacher training institution that we have in this country. Would you give us a synopsis of the Gambia College, how it came to be, and maybe anything that you want to add on?
Yeah, thank you very much. Gambia College, as we know it in this present form, consists of 4 schools. That is the School of Nursing, which is based in Banjul, the School of Public Health, the School of Agriculture, and the School of Education, which is the biggest school. The School of Education is the place where we train teachers, and it started a long time during the colonial period, sometime in Banjul, then later moved to Janjambure, and then came back to Yundum and was called then the Yundum Teachers College. Then the School of Nursing was on its own also, and it came about in the 60s. So do the School of Public Health. Then there was also this cooperative training school and the School of Agriculture, which were also in Yundum. But all these institutions were independent institutions operating on their own. Then in 1978, there was an act that established the Gambia College. So it brought all these institutions together. That is the institutions that I have mentioned. Yundum Teachers College, School of Nursing, Public Health, Cooperative Training Center, and the School of Agriculture. So that led to the movement of the school from Yundum Teachers College, the headquarters of the institution, to Birkama. And you have Ampoma, a Ghanaian, who became the first principal of that school. Then later, a Gambian came in the passing of the late Alhaji Ndonde NSZ Jai. Then he handed over to the late Jenu Mane, and then to Alhaji Dr. Aliu Badra Senghor. Then there was a period when the leadership had a break for a period of 5 years, and no substantive principal was appointed. The then Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Emoka, was overseeing until in February 2015 when I was appointed as the principal of the college.
That was a very brief synopsis or maybe history of the Gambia College. Very interesting there. Now we understand that, like you said, the Gambia College consists of 4 sister schools, and that is the School of Public Health, the School of Agriculture, the School of Nursing, and also the School of Education, which is training teachers. Now, looking at our topic today, that is quality teachers at the heart of education. You have been a lecturer at the Gambia College, a resident tutor, a lecturer, head of School of Agriculture, as acting registrar, and subsequently to principal role. So you must have a very good knowledge of teacher and teaching in this country, quality teachers and teaching when it comes to now. First of all, before we get to the discussion proper, what would you say, or how would you react to the issue of teacher quality in this country? What is going to be your judgment, general?
The teacher quality will continue to remain a challenge because society is dynamic, and the education sector normally do not respond as quickly as the changes are taking place in society. So the changes taking place in society are faster than the way the curriculum respond to those changes, and consequently you will see that teacher quality will always remain a challenge.
Very good. Now let's talk about the Gambia College. We know now we have the Gambia College Brikama campus, and we have the Gambia College Brikama basic campus. Now, first of all, the question that is lingering in most of the people in this country is that, is the Gambia College prioritized? It used to be a moment, or there used to be a moment when people Gambia College was repulsive in the sense that it attracts people to come, and in return, people are given stipend. So, but now the question that any Gambian is asking now is if the Gambia College is prioritized, because from the 2018, now people have to pay an amount of tuition fee to be able to be enrolled at the Gambia College. Now, first of all, we want to establish if the Gambia College is a private institution or no, it is not.
No, the Gambia College has never been a private institution and will never be a private institution. It is a fee-charging institution, just like the University of the Gambia, just like MDI, just like GTTI, just like we used to have also in the high schools. So we are a fee-charging institution. In September 2015, the then government adopted a cabinet paper for the charging of fees to start as of January 2017. And that's what a lot of people don't know, that this initiative, because the college was going down the drain, subvention was extremely low, staff morale was low, and consequently we were losing the cream of the teaching staff to other institutions. And government felt that it is necessary that the institution be allowed to operate like the other tertiary institutions, to raise its own funds so that they would be able to train their staff and maintain them.
Very good. So, so that was how the Gambia College became a fee-charging institution. So, but in the past, it used to be the other way around. So, what must have gone wrong to prompt the payment or introduction of tuition fee to the Gambia College?
Nothing went wrong. What used to happen was that we had shortage of teachers, and there were a lot of unqualified teachers in the system. And consequently, it became government that actually needed the teachers in a desperate form, because the unqualified teachers were so many in the system until at one point in time we had to even establish an extension program in Janjambure, sponsored by BESPO. So with time, the numbers were actually realized. And then we will have to move from, once access is now guaranteed with the opening of schools, government had to quickly get the number of staff, so they had to put in monies to make sure that they have the staff trained. So it became their responsibility. So with time, the demand for teachers started going down, because the schools have now been
well supplied
with the qualified teachers.
Okay.
So if you check now, hardly would any of the government schools have an unqualified teacher. So all the teachers are now qualified. So now the issue of quality is what we are moving next to, apart from access, because the education aspect talks about access, quality, and relevance. So the curriculum is working on the relevance. The schools have been built and the teachers have been trained, so the access to a large extent have been achieved. So now the quality which you are about to discuss with me today is what we are working towards.
So let's still talk about the access. Now, when we talk about access, we know the Gambia, the poverty rate is very high. And the Gambia College used to be an institution that is ready to absorb people from humble background who wishes, or in fact, even by accident, becoming a teacher. So now, let's say people that are from the poor background, and we have a tuition fee at the Gambia College that is very high. As principal, don't you think this is going to really affect enrollment at the Gambia College? Looking at the financial constraint that financial constraint that some families might face.
No, instead, the enrollment has increased as a result of the introduction of tuition fee, because our hands are no longer tied based on limitation of budget. So you've seen Basse fully functional, you've seen Birkama fully functional, and we have the lowest tuition fee as far as the government tertiary institutions are concerned. I'm not even comparing myself to the private sector. Charging people for a whole academic year maximum of 12,000 tuition fee for advanced diploma and 10,000 for the diploma. Just go to any of these government institutions and register for a 6 months certificate, and you will be able to know whether we are charging a high fee or whether we are charging a highly subsidized fee.
That is very clear. Now, you said now instead the enrollment has increased after the introduction of tuition fee. Now, are we having quality here? Like now, there is money, there is payment. Now, anybody can come in and pay a tuition fee. Is the quality that is at? Is it the quality that is sacrificed here?
No, it's not anybody can come in. Compared to previously. Okay. So as you can see, for the past 2 years, we have not trained any teacher. We've not enrolled any teacher into our diploma program. So we have phased out the diploma. So we are only offering advanced diploma. So that is in response to making sure that the teachers that are trained are at a higher level. And this advanced diploma is not only for the secondary, but even for ECD. You must be ready to do the advanced diploma. So the quality and the curriculum have been reviewed. So the quality is, as I told you, was what we were addressing. And consequently, you will see that in the not too distant future, we will be introducing, as part of the transformation of the Gambia College into a teacher education university, or an education university, we will be getting teachers who, even at ECD, would need to get a bachelor's degree.
We'll actually get there. Our discussion will really get us there if time permits. Now, let's talk about the issue of quality teachers at the heart of education. Now, we know if you look at the education policy of the Gambia, 2016-2030, it really encompasses a lot of national priorities, ranging from health, socio-economic development, agriculture, and so on. So, and all this is anchored or are anchored on the quality of teachers that is in the sector. Now, what is the Gambia College doing as the main and the only teacher training body in this country to be able to make these national priorities a reality?
Yeah, as I said, that's why we are responding to it by, one, dropping the certificate program so that those, we remember we used to have unqualified teachers.
Yes.
Then later we had PTC upgrading, so lesser qualified, just a means of moving them, making an upward. Then the upgrading dropped, we only had PTC. Then there was a period that we had the extension, so the PTC spent a lot of time in the field and lesser time with us. Now we are dropping PTC, and then the curriculum was transformed into diploma with added value in terms of quality. And the next step that we have taken is that we have now even dropped that diploma. We are now only enrolling advanced diploma. As I told you, we will maintain the advanced diploma because it's of high quality. But the next step is we are going to move on to getting bachelor's degree for ECD bachelor's degree primary, bachelor's degree secondary, so that our teachers eventually will be comparable to the teachers of other developed countries, where before you enter the teaching field, even if it is for at the kindergarten, you must have been first a graduate before becoming a teacher.
Now, how is this feasible? This issue of transforming the Gambia College into a teacher training university, and is this something that the Gambia College is really prepared for?
As a nation, we are prepared for it. We have been given the policy pronouncement, and we have been working on getting it realized, and that is why we have quite a number of our staff currently doing their PhD. Some have returned, and most of our staff already got their masters, so we are making sure that we get the manpower, which is the terminal degree. At least if we are able to get 40% of our staff with PhDs, that is more than enough to start any university to any standard.
Is one way, or is one way to have maybe the human capacity ready, but is the institution generally ready in terms of in terms of the structures, in terms of
yeah, let me just go into that. Okay. The current infrastructure that you have is not actually the one that would be used. There will be a new set of campus that would also be built, that would be ready for for the transformation process.
Okay.
So we will, as I told you, we will continue to provide the advanced diploma programs.
For the meantime.
Yeah, that will, even when we are doing the bachelor's, that will continue as a bridging for anybody. So if you do not have the entry requirement to go into straight degree, you may start with an advanced diploma and later end up graduating up to your PhD. So for teacher education, soon the sky would not only be the limit, but would be a springboard.
So, but like you talk about the infrastructure, and that you are going to have a lot more infrastructure to be able to accommodate this new program that the Gambia College is about to get in. Are we going to see this structure in Brikama, or maybe you are targeting to have somewhere to build this particular infrastructure?
At the moment, there is a committee that is set up to look into the Gambia College transformation, and there were some drafts that were made. I know there would be infrastructural development in Brikama, but I'm not ruling out other campuses all over the place, including Basse.
So the issue of Basse campus, are you sure that the Basse campus is really getting what is deserved in terms of the human resource, in terms of the teaching and learning that is required of the campus, just like Brikama here?
Currently, I can say that Basse stands on top of Brikama in terms of facility and in terms of resources, both human and material.
But lately we have seen the issues of complaints that are emanating from the Basse campus with regards to the issue of food and all of that. Is the college really ready to be able to accommodate the students?
No, the Gambia College is not responsible for feeding anybody. We are responsible for training teachers. So the responsibility of feeding solely lies on the parents who send their kids to the same. So Basse people, of course, they are staying around the campus, but we are not responsible for their dormitories. We are not responsible for feeding. So, yeah, when they complain about feeding, it's like somebody somewhere else is not doing what he or she is supposed to do. I, as principal, and the management and the ministry, we have no hands in as far as feeding anybody is concerned in this country.
I actually raised this question because these are all misconceptions that people have in terms of blaming the college authorities as to the food and all of that. So, but the Gambia College campus in Basse is a very good development in terms of keeping, or in terms of trying to address the issue of rural-urban migration. Are we ready to see, or are we really going to see a lot more campus across the country to be able to ease the burden on the Brikama campus, and also to be able to cope the issue of rural-urban migration? Because we understand as rural people that sometimes people find it very difficult to actually travel down to campus to actually attend the Gambia College in Brikama. Are we going to see a decentralization of Gambia College campus to various parts of the country?
Yeah, at the moment we are managing with our two School of Education campuses. As I told you, we have a Banjul campus for nursing and a Buyam Outreach campus also for nursing. We're managing with that, but as I told you when I was talking about the University of Education, that there is a possibility of having other campuses situated in other places. But that is purely for government to provide. We as an institution, we will be more than willing to serve in all the regions and to send our men and women who would be ready to facilitate those campuses, just like we did with the Basse campus.
Of late, the Gambia College was very instrumental in terms of training, and then there is no doubt with the quality that it produces. So now there are issues of whether the Gambia College is doing what it's supposed to do in terms of the kind of people that it admits. So, but now we have seen an exam that is being conducted after the end of the diploma program. Is this something that is really going to provide for quality in terms of the students that are graduating and going to the field? Or don't you think this should have been from the start? It should have been an entry exam coming into the college.
As I said, this exam, the last exam that you are talking about, is mainly an employment criteria. I told you that the nation teaching force is almost met, and this is one of the tactics of controlling the number of people that would have access to employment. I have my reservations with regards to that examination, but I am not an employer, so any employer can choose to do whatever he or she wants so as to get the best out of whatever I produce. Yes. I am supposed to train Gambians, and I will continue to train Gambians to the best of my ability as an institution.
Okay, you are a major stakeholder in all this that is happening. So maybe you would like to share us your reservations as to some of these things.
Yeah, my reservations include, normally when you are to give entrance exam, you should have waited until when everybody have graduated. So only those that have graduated from the institution should have been given the exams, rather than you examine everybody that is in their final year. Because up to this moment, we have students that are yet to complete college, but they started the exams last year. So that will give a wrong connotation in terms of the number of people that pass, and because you will call them Gambia College graduate this examination, or competency, graduate competency examination. But people who has scored low GPAs, people who have a lot of references, are allowed to sit to that exams, and some of them have passed that exam and are yet to pass college. So it becomes a little bit funny, because where are you going to categorize them? Are you going to categorize them as graduates? Because they can never be qualified teachers until they get their attestation.
That's true.
So the best would have been like what the Nurses Council is doing. Only those who have attestation should be allowed to sit to the exams, and then be licensed as teachers. And it should have been used maybe as, but and a different body should be set up as for government, as what happened in other countries. A body should be set up to do a reliable examination. Like in the UK, we have the Council for the Accreditation of Teacher Education. We have the teacher commissions in other countries, like in Sierra Leone, this thing, that would do that exam for teachers that have graduated, whether from the university or this thing. Okay. If you want to get a license,
sort of a competency-based examination.
Yeah, it's a licensing exam, because teaching is a profession. So you must get a license before you are allowed to go into the schools. For us, we have been allowing every Tom, Dick, and Harry. In fact, that's why most of the time the prestige of teaching is very low, because people who have no options are allowed to go into our classrooms, and it should have been the other way. Only the best should teach. Like in the slogan in the UK when I was there was that those who can teach. So only the best should have been the teachers. Then the rest can go and do anything. Because once you damage this
sector,
children, you've damaged their future. But here, people will just tell you that go, as in the wall of this thing, damanga japale teaching.
Absolutely.
Teaching should not be by chance, it should be by choice, and we should make sure that as a country we put teaching to the top of the professions.
Ah, that is very clear, and I think the authorities and other major stakeholders are really watching to be able to look at this issue and then put it to consideration. Now, who is responsible for this? Is it NACA or maybe the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with regards to all this that you are mentioning? Because it seems like the Gambia College does not have a hand, or let's say a say, in terms of who does this exam and who does not. Who is responsible for this?
As I said, it's an employment criteria examination,
So
so it is
therefore-
handled by MOPSI.
MOPSI, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like NACA is responsible for quality assurance in institutions and
Okay.
programs. So, but any employer, including even your TV, you can do an entrance exam for journalists who wants to be TV journalists or who want to be this thing,
Okay.
cameraman or those.
Or
So
camera
that's a
ladies.
choice. If you want to, if you have too many qualified people, you can definitely
Choose from the best.
Choose to take the best, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I think that is very clear, and those are the words of the principal. So just to remind you, this is the Education Point, and I am your host Kutubo Sane, and with me in the studio is an accomplished educator who is no other than the would-be Dr. Jallo. So with that, we'll head to our first break, and we'll soon return to continue this most important discussion here on Star TV. In case you want to advertise with us, we are really available. You can contact Star TV Marketing Office or through their Facebook page to be able to get us the advertisement that is really going to actually help this particular platform to be able to bring you more discussions as to the sector and what what it holds for the progress of this nation. We'll soon be back. Back after that short break. Be reminded you are watching Star TV, and this is the Education Point. I am your host Kutubo Sane, and with me in the studio is Mr. Abubakar Jarol, the principal of the Gambia College, which is the country's oldest and the only teacher, the country's oldest tertiary institution and the only teacher training institution in this country. Mr. Jallo, before the break, we are talking about some of the prospects or some of the contributions of the Gambia College with regards to promoting quality, efficiency, and access to education in this country. Because we know, looking at the national priorities that is embedded in the national education policy, all this cannot be attained without teachers, but also without quality teachers. And your institution, which you actually head in, is responsible for the training and equipping the teachers that are required for the sector. We know the education, unlike other sectors, you cannot manage. So we really need the best, and we should have the best to be able to be in the field, like you mentioned, rather than to having or to making the Gambia College or to making the teaching fraternity the last option, or maybe going there accidentally or so. But the moment we have a working force that is able and passionate, really we'll have a college, or we'll have an education sector that we really want and deserve. So we know the Gambia College being the main body that has been training teachers, or that is charged with training teachers, and also having to manage 4 sister schools in the same college. We know there are daunting tasks or challenges that the college might face or is facing. So maybe you might want to talk to us about some of these challenges that your institution is being faced.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have been facing a lot of challenges, and part of it is mobilizing the necessary financial muscle so as to be able to transform the institution in the way we want it. A lot of our partners have contributed immensely towards this development, and we must thank them for that. But we also have challenges with regards to collecting our monies vis-a-vis the tuition fees, especially for some organizations or institutions that have given people scholarship and yet fail to honor the payment of those scholarships. And this is weighing on the institutions immensely. You will not be able to use the monies to send staff for training, so you have to only rely on scholarships, and scholarships are not tailor-made for the institutions. It's just based on the availability of a scholarship, so you have to send your people to go and study something that a particular university sent to the Gambia and said we have scholarship, let's say in thermodynamics or something like that, when probably the needs that are institutionalized, we would not be able to send people based on our needs, but based on what is available.
Available.
Yeah, because we do not have the resources to send people on our own, pay for their studies, to study something that is required specific to our institution. So that is one challenge. Another challenge is that our old campus is undergoing some renovation, but it needs major renovation, and that requires a lot of investment as far as facelifting the college to its standard is concerned. So that's something that is a big challenge. Another challenge that we have is that we are yet to be able to adequately remunerate our staff so as to be able to make them stay at the college and take college as a full-time job where you are happy, you have all the resources and this thing. And that is something that we would have loved to have, so that every staff that enters the college would not be in a haste to go home to try to get some additional money to take care of the family. We would have been able to pay enough for you to just come
and work,
teach, research, and study on your own to be able to do this. So that is a challenge. Because we also operate in virtually every school in this country, we send our students on teaching practice in every school. We send our nurses in virtually every health facility in this country. Our public health officers go on attachment. So the amount of vehicles that we have also and their age is also a major challenge. I must take this opportunity to thank the current president, because for the first time when he came, he gave us 5 pickups, and that has immensely increased our fleet to be able to do this trekking. But now that our campuses have increased, we have 2 of those 5 vehicles. 2 are already in Basse, 3 are here, and it becomes it's now almost 5 years, so it is becoming, the maintenance is becoming more and more expensive, and we will need to buy new ones, but we must first mobilize the resources to be able to replace those ones, or government would have to come and help us. But it is not the wish of the institution for any time that we need something, we have to wait until somebody gives us. We should have been able to raise all the funds, and yes, if all our funds were paid, we would have been able to replace those vehicles with new ones and maintain the ones that we have, so that our trekking would be much more fun.
Easier.
There would be no breakdown here and there, and we would be able to take our vehicles knowing that they will not have any problem going into Kiang interior or in the Hakalang area or in any part of the country.
So these are very daunting challenges that you mentioned in here. So another third challenge that maybe you might talk about is the issue of digitalization when it comes to the Gambia College. Of late, and in fact very recent, you see number of students going helter-skelter to be able to, the issue of mark issue is a problem at the college. Sometimes in fact it will affect or it will delay the issuance of attestation and so on. Is digitalization a problem that the Gambia College is really looking to address in very near future?
Yeah, that is why we've now asked every student to register into the portal, and we are making sure that the lecturers upload the marks into the portal and move away from the manual. So, but when I speak on behalf of Gambia College in general, and this issue is mainly peculiar at the School of Education. When you go to nursing, we don't have major issues like that, and public health and agriculture. But that notwithstanding, it's not a justification that they say. So we are working, and that's why a grade coordinator have been identified at the School of Education, and I keep on asking him whether lecturers are doing what they are supposed to do, that is to upload the thing. We have a challenge in the sense that some of the students, for one reason or the other, did not register in the portal, and consequently their grades would not be seen, and they wait until when
it's final year.
It's final year, they want to go and register into the portal and have to now want all this to be uploaded. So we are at a teaching stage as far as modernization of grade management or information management is concerned, but hopefully we will get there sooner than later, because we are tasking the school to make sure that this is done. And I have not given them any time for them to relax. I am always on their toes to make sure that they keep this, because once it is digitalized, any student who have registered and paid your fees, you should be able to go and log in and see your grades. So that makes the life a little bit more easy than having the heads of department keeping the grades in their own individual records and then collating it. Sometimes in the process of collating this Excel sheet, any downward movement, it affects the whole class. Yes. Anybody who is down. So if you just press enter one and it moves, the one moves to two. So the results of everybody on the other side is affected. So
yes. So you talk about a problem of staff retention and also the facelifting of the Gambia College, Brikama campus to be specific. Now, what would you want to be done as soon as possible to be able to remedy some of these challenges that the Gambia College is facing?
Yeah, I know something has already started. As you can see, the college has not been fenced since its inception at Brikama, and that has led to a lot of intrusion, a lot of theft and this thing. So luckily we've got at least a buffer fence now between us and Nyambai. We are yet to complete the fencing all around, but we also have the University of Science, Engineering and Technology also based there. So now I'm a little bit more comfortable that the entire campus, the entire area would be fenced. So that would improve, that at least have improved on the security and on the outside aesthetic bit a little bit. The MRC Holland also was approached, and they are currently rehabilitating the student dormitories, changing the asbestos, doing the full dormitory, and also they would build extra dormitories. So that development is coming up. We've had some rehabilitation around the hall, but all these rehabilitation are coming in bits and pieces. A comprehensive overhaul of the institution is what I am referring to. We need to do that to comprehensively, let's say.
Okay. So the issue of staff retention is also a challenge, in fact a major one, because you talk about because there is low or maybe not enough remuneration to this staff, so maintaining the cream of this becomes a problem. Now, what would you want to see done as soon as possible to be able to make this issue history?
Yeah, once we get our monies, our governing council and the ministry is more than willing for us to, because we raise our own funds as far as the payment of our staff is concerned. We have some subvention that comes in, but it's just a small amount of money, about 25% of our total
budget,
the same monthly salaries.
Okay.
So that's if you take salaries and allowances together. So we will still need more in terms of getting our own resources to be able to uplift, because we as an institution, we are autonomous. We can change our salary once we get approval from the council. So we did that the thing. But as I said, accessing our resources is a challenge, and once we are able to overcome that challenge, then some of these problems can be solved, including even us being able to foot the construction of, let's say, our administrative building,
okay.
and or doing some major maintenance. But at the moment, we are just operating.
Okay. Finally, before I let you go, you are a seasoned educationist and also a major stakeholder when you talk about the education of this country, being the principal of the only teacher training institution in this country. Now, don't you are you of the view that the teachers in this country are given the relevant? It's one thing to train teachers and also to get them knowledgeable, but are we having the right knowledge, the relevant knowledge? Because when you talk about our policy, it also talks about relevance. Are we really having the right tool, the right knowledge and skills required to be able to do well for this country?
Obviously, we are a third world country, so getting the right setup will remain a challenge for the foreseeable future, because every teacher would have loved to at least have, if not a laptop, but a computer that is well networked to be able to do research wherever you find yourself in. Up to this moment, when you ask some of the teachers to name you the states of matter when they are teaching science, they will tell you that matter there are three states of matter.
Yes.
When that is 19th century information. So matter is now divided into 7 states. So if we are teaching our children in this modern world 3 states of matter, solid, liquid, and gases, when we have 7 states, so that means when will we catch up? Because we are giving them half information. We are misinforming them. So the ITC facilities should have been much more developed, so that teachers, as I told you, knowledge is so fluid, it's so dynamic, that what you were taught yesterday may no longer be relevant today. You could have been taught that the Minister of Lands in the Gambia was Honorable Abbasanyang,
yes,
and all of a sudden it changed. So that knowledge is no longer valid. So if you tell the students that and you ask them to do the exams now, they would fail, because the knowledge that you taught them just
yesterday.
So, and a lot of other things would be changing. So we need to be, as teachers, researchers, to make sure that we are au fait with up-to-date knowledge. As knowledge changes, we change. And that is why I told you that the curriculum that we run cannot catch up with society. So how do we bridge that gap? Is for teachers to make sure that they have access to internet, to be able to do research, to be able to see journals and all those sort of things. So, but unfortunately, we are a third world country. We do not have those things. Some of our villages don't even have electricity, much more to start advocating for internet and computers.
So finally, Mr. Jallo, do you have any final message to share with maybe the viewers?
Yeah, the only final message that I want to share here is that those of you in your villages, in your towns, that don't have anywhere to go, please consider coming to Gambia College in any of our programs. What you need mainly is 4 credits in WAS plus a pass, at least a pass 7 in English. And if you do not have that, we also have lower programs. So do not sit at home and think that there is no hope. There is always hope, and education is the only way where poverty can be broken. Some of us came from humble backgrounds. If you had known us some time back and you now know us, you would know that education is actually very powerful. So do not relent on pursuing your education. So that's the advice for the Gambian people, and we don't have age problem. So anybody can come and do your course.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jallo, for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. That was Mr. Jallo. Mr. Jallo, or let me. I like to say this. Would be Dr. Jallo. We thank you so much for being with us on the second episode of the Education Hour on Star TV. Be reminded this program will be coming to you every Tuesday. With that, we'll say a goodbye to you, and then do join us next Tuesday. Bye for now.